Hello, salud. I am the Rasta Witch. Here's where we learn the way of the Yansui Rasta, which is to say, my kind of Ital. Please subscribe and begin your own kind of Yansui witchcraft. All roads lead to Rome. Home. Okay, so today we are doing the twos in the tarot deck. See the Two of Wands, the Two of Cups, the Two of Swords, the Two of Discs in the Sephiroth Tarot, Two of Wands, Two of Cups, Two of Swords, Two of Pentacles in my deck, which is a combination of many decks, and then the Two of Wands, Two of Cups, Two of Swords, Two of Pentacles in the Thoth deck. So the twos are on the Sephira of Kokma in the Tree of Life in the Kabbalah. So Kokma means wisdom in Hebrew. They show harmony and choice. That's what these all have in common. So you have to, especially with the numbers 1, 2, and 3, you have to think about the meaning. If there's one thing in space, then it's neither big nor small, high, or anything else, So with the number 1, we're just at the very beginning of the lightning flash going down from number 1 to number 10 in the stages of creation. It's just the idea. It's the beginning, it's the seed. And so everything's all unified into one idea, into one thing. When you get to number 2, that's where it first starts to kind of divide up and everything, And so that, but it still hasn't, the number 2 still is quite a beginning place, The seed is starting to kind of take root a little bit, but you're still way at the beginning, When you go to number 3, now you kind of are somewhere far enough away from the beginning that things are starting to be big or small, things are starting to kind of take shape, and you can, but with number 2, you're still just kind of at the very beginning, So these all show like some kind of harmony and moment of a choice that needs to be made, At number 1, we had that unity, but now we've got the choice. So it's split up into that it's a choice is when there's more than one option, So at number 2, we move to a state of change, When you make a choice, now things have changed. Each of the 4 twos are in a quest for equilibrium in its given suit. Okay, so now we'll start with the Two of Wands. I like to do this in the order of the tetragram. Fire, water, air, and earth. Yod, He, Vav, He. Wands, cups, swords, pentacles. So we'll start with Wands, the Two of Wands. So if you look at the picture, so you can see this guy, he's like on the patio in his house or something like that, and you can see there's the whole world out there. There's like the horizon out there, and he's got 2 wands. One wand is sitting over there, and the other one's in his hand, because his other hand is has the earth in his hand. He's got the world in his hand. So there's lots of potential. The wands are a fiery, energetic, you got to make a move type of a card, But now's not necessarily the time to make the move, So there's time to set your other wand down, because you'll need to, you don't have 3 arms, So set that one down, and you can hold this one in your hand, because you're excited to go. There's a push to go, but you're holding the earth in your hand, because you got to plan things out and decide what you're going to do, Like I said, these are a moment of choice, This card is the fiery combination of Mars and Aries. This is a get-together that may or may not lead to something bigger. A reliable partner might be just what you need. You know your potential. This is a good time for action, or maybe not. Dominion. one door is closed, like destruction, and another door is opened, Sometimes good things start out of destruction, or the door closing and now another door is opening. You appear to be like a tower of strength, yet you're yearning to be appreciated and loved, So this is Mars and Aries. In my birth chart, my Mars is in Aries. That's what mine is. And so one thing I can tell you about the energy of Mars and Aries is that, like, for me, I'm like a really kind, loving, emotional, feminine energy type person, But when it comes to this moment, like if someone's too like, oh, woe is me, and too weak and too beaten down, and like, oh, I can't do anything for myself type thing, it can ruin a potential friendship, So, because this is lots of fiery energy, You appreciate your own manifested powers and capabilities, And it's a focused, equitable exchange of energy if someone else is involved, Well, with the twos, they usually have a lot of relevance to like relationships, and friendships and things like that. But sometimes the question at hand doesn't have anything to do with that, So you also have to look at the card and what it might mean just within yourself, some kind of like inner and outer struggle or something like that, Cross the bridge when it comes, but don't get ahead of yourself, Maybe you already have what you need, Stop and look and take time to plan. Now might not be the time to go. It might be time to set one wand to the side and to plan things out, and let there be more of a natural moment when it's time to take the next step, which will be number 3, right? Because we're just at number 2. Okay, now we'll move on to the 2 of Cups, which is water energy. Venus and Cancer, so it's love. Unconscious, watery, submerged feelings. A partnership is being formed, a reciprocal exchange of love, harmonious balance and joy or peace, an emotional connection, the early stages of a love affair, a show of affection, or flirtation or lovemaking, a no-commitment romance, communicate to find balance. See? Because like a lot of these cards have that Mercury symbol, so that's like communication, communicate to find balance. But it can mean a regretted one-night stand too, because it's just like so like early in the thing with just the number 2. Harmonious interaction or empathy. The highest relationship possible, sharing one's gifts with others, It's a time to open your heart and share your gifts with others, Take these early stages of a relationship, it takes a little bit of bravery to be at the beginning of a new relationship. And then these with the 2s, especially this card because it's so emotional with the water energy, you're tempted to think that it means like a romantic friendship, but it doesn't have to mean that. I think of like that scene on The Pick of Destiny with Tenacious D, Jack Black. That movie where he's all, dude, I totally miss you. I totally miss you all the time. I think of like that, that this can mean that. Just like a highest, like the higher, better relationships, a really good connection. A controlled energy flow from within and without, because it doesn't have to even mean that. Again, it can just mean something within the individual. There might not be another person or relationship really involved. Just it might have more to do with the relationship inside yourself. If there's a problem, focus on the highest truth of the relationship. Again, maybe it's the relationship with yourself. And then wait it out, because you're just at number 2. Respectful connection. But you got to share your heart, risk being open, make it natural. Okay, now moving on to the 2 of Swords. It's the Moon in Libra. So it's peace, attaining balance under the moon. Libra is about balance, and the moon can shed some light on things at night, The weighing of one possibility over another. An agreement to defer a solution or decision until the future, because you're just at number 2. Logic, balanced intellectual processes, energy beyond the onslaught of overthinking. So if you look at it, see, she's got 2 swords and she's blindfolded, because it's there's sometimes in a decision you can't just use your thinking to decide which choice to make. Sometimes there's not really enough data and information, so you have to rely on your intuition. So one sword might be the intuition, and the other sword might be the thinking. Libra is an air sign, and the moon is the intuition, because you got to use them both together to find that balance, to make the choice, walk by faith, the balanced intellectual processes, energy beyond the onslaught of overthinking. If you do all thinking and start getting into overthinking and tune out your intuition, you're not going to make the right choice. Intellect restrained by love. Silent equilibrium with outer and inner struggles. One sword might mean outer struggles, another sword might mean inner struggles. Acceptance of one's own weaknesses. Balance leading to inner peace, or the acceptance of one's strengths, too. A powerful chemistry, a natural balance. Pick which path you'll take. The mind and intuition must work together, like I said, to make the best choice. So walk in faith. I look at this card. If you look, there's all these waves. See, that? Have you ever been to the ocean? If you're standing right next, on the edge of a pier or a dock right there, and there's the water right there, and you can hear the water lapping behind you, especially if you're blindfolded. It kind of has a feeling of there's this energy that's kind of pushing you to decide, Okay, so that was Swords, which is air. So we've done fire, water, air. Now we're moving on to the 4th one, the Pentacles, which is earth. So earthy things, it's things you can see, touch, taste, smell, hear. It's Jupiter and Capricorn in this case, So it's change. Jupiter represents expansion, and Capricorn represents a practical application, like a career or money management. The double-edged nature of opportunity. More work is only welcome if we have the time to fit it in. Otherwise, it becomes an unwelcome burden. Much is happening. New responsibilities, so there's a need to budget. There might be a need to budget to make it work. If you look at this, so here are the 2 of Pentacles. Look at that. Those are not regular sized waves. Those are big, huge waves. He's on the beach there, and there's a storm out there, the chaos of life. In the chaos of life, the 2 of Pentacles kind of shows up. Look at the look on his face. And look, his hands are right there. The belt's making this infinity symbol. So it's the infinite, the ongoing juggle of life, isn't it? And so sometimes you just have to kind of hurry up and get dressed and show up, and you don't dare to, you don't want to, but you do, because we're at 2, so we're at the beginning. And look, he's got, it's like, man, you're gonna get your hands, yeah, you're gonna get your hands stuck in there, you know, better be careful, you know. And so it's, you know, the need to budget to make it work, or an offer that later will bear fruit. You know, weighing one thing against another. But it can also mean counting your chickens before they hatched, you know. An industrious yet unreliable person. The yin and the yang. Letting go of things not needed allows for rebuilt strength. Beware of intrigue. It might mean little substance below a beautiful surface. Adapt and reassess the plan to find the sweet spot, because it may have moved, you know, in the chaos of life. You know, is finding balance within. Okay, so those are the 2s in the tarot deck. Next time we will do the 3s in the tarot deck of each suit.